Many people recognize the common forms of power that are utilized, but not many of these people are able to correctly explain how they work. The purpose of this speech is to look at the impact that different forms of power has, specifically wind power and coal power, and certain aspects about each. I think important aspects to look at with wind and coal power is the overall costs associated with it, whether it is clean or dirty, and finally how effective their utilization is. Before we start discussing some of the specific costs that are associated, we should identify how they work. Wind energy works by the passing wind entering a turbine and generating electricity that is used to power homes and businesses. The process of receiving electricity from a coal plant can be described in 5 steps. Thermal coal is turned into a powder, water is turned to steam, the steam spins a turbine, magnets turn within copper wire coils, and the moving magnets create electrical current. There are large capital costs when starting up a turbine, since the turbine itself costs up to 70% of the total capital cost. The rest is made up of installation fees and construction costs. According to the American Wind Energy Association, the 2015 DOE Wind Technology Market reports that the capacity-weighted average installed project costs stood at nearly $1,690 per kilowatt hour, down 27% from the apparent peak in average reported costs in 2009 and 2010. There were similar costs associated with coal power as that of wind power. According to a study done by the Center for Health and Global Environment at Harvard Medical School, the yearly and cumulative costs stemming from the aerosolized soil and water pollutants associated with the mining, processing, transport, and combustion of coal affects individuals, families, communities, ecological integrity, and the global climate. There is some belief that the amount of electricity generated due to coal power has been decreasing in recent years, even to its lowest point. It is also a growing problem that some costs of alternative forms of energy have been decreasing, which has had an impact on the need and want of coal energy use. As we have seen, there are costs associated with both options, but since wind is a renewable resource, it has a lower maintenance cost compared to that of coal. When an energy option is referred to as clean, it usually means that the option is a completely pollution-free option that utilizes renewable resources. Some benefits of clean energy include no pollutants, it preserves the environment, and brings development to rural areas. Dirty energy, on the other hand, can be described as that which has been used up and creates a waste product. This form typically creates a great amount of air pollutants and greenhouse gases that harm the environment. Wind power is a clean form of energy option since it doesn't emit any pollutants or greenhouse gases. It takes advantage of a very abundant resource and creates a good part of the overall electricity production across the United States. Coal is a dirty option because it needs non-renewable resources to generate electricity. A major aspect of coal power is that it emits a great amount of pollutants and greenhouse gases that are emitted into the air. According to the UCS, coal plants are the nation's top source of carbon dioxide emissions, which is the primary cause of global warming. A typical coal plant generates 3.5 billion tons of CO2 per year. There are many pros to the use of wind power, including it being a renewable, non-polluting resource, cost-effective, and the industry is rapidly growing. Even though wind needs to be present to get electricity, I believe it is a very effective option that has a great potential of growing. Even though coal can be considered to be a limited resource, it can also be looked at as a stable source of energy. Despite some of the problems associated with coal energy, I think it is still an effective source because it provides a great majority of the electricity used. However, one of the biggest problems that many struggle with is the amount of pollutants that are emitted. I was able to come across facts concerning wind power and coal power in Nebraska specifically. According to the official Nebraska government website, energy generated by wind power is estimated to be 2.77% of Nebraska's energy consumption in 2014. Coal is a very big part of electricity generation in Nebraska. According to the Nebraska Power Association, about 65% of Nebraska's electricity was produced from coal in 2010. In this speech, we looked at the overall amount of cost, whether they're clean or dirty, and the effectiveness of these two energy options. I think it is important for everybody to take the time to think about how they receive the electricity they use and the specific processes that were carried out.